For weeks, the war between the United States and Iran pushed the Middle East dangerously close to a wider conflict. Now the focus has shifted somewhere unexpected. Islamabad is about to host direct talks between the United States and Iran after helping broker a fragile 2-week ceasefire that paused more than a month of fighting. Delegations from both countries are expected to arrive in Pakistan this week, with negotiations scheduled soon after. And what happens in Islamabad could determine whether the ceasefire holds or whether the war resumes. So how did Pakistan suddenly become the center of this diplomacy? The breakthrough came on the 39th day of the war. At the time, tensions were escalating rapidly. Washington had threatened major strikes if Iran did not open the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway through which about one-fifth of the world's oil and gas passes. Iran had already restricted shipping through the strait in retaliation for US and Israeli attacks. With both sides moving closer to a major escalation, Pakistan stepped in to mediate. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif proposed a 2-week ceasefire, which both Washington and Tehran accepted as a temporary pause to open the door for negotiations. President Donald Trump later said his conversations with Prime Minister Sharif and Pakistan's military leadership helped make the ceasefire possible. Now the next stage is about to begin. Pakistan is hosting face-to-face negotiations between the United States and Iran in Islamabad. The US delegation is expected to be led by Vice President J.D. Vance, signaling that the White House is putting serious political weight behind the talk. Other senior figures include US envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. On the Iranian side, the delegation will be led by Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi along with Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf. A large advanced US team has already arrived in Islamabad to review security and logistics ahead of the talks. Pakistan has declared public holidays in the capital, restricted access to parts of the city, and reserved a major hotel for the delegation. So what exactly will they be negotiating? The ceasefire itself was built around a 10-point proposal from Iran, which Washington has accepted as a starting framework for talk. Reports suggest the proposal includes recognition of Iran's nuclear enrichment program, the lifting of US sanctions, the release of frozen Iranian assets, and the withdrawal of US forces from bases in the region. Iran has also demanded compensation for damage caused during the war, but major disagreements remain. The United States is expected to push for limits on Iran's nuclear program, while Iran insists that sanctions must be lifted and its nuclear rights recognized. There are also disagreements over regional conflicts, especially in Lebanon, and over control of shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. And the ceasefire itself is already under pressure. Just hours after it was announced, Israeli forces launched major airstrikes in Lebanon to target Hezbollah positions. Israel says its operations in Lebanon are separate from the US-Iran ceasefire. Iran disagrees and has warned that continued attacks in Lebanon could undermine the agreement. There have also been reports of drone activity and strikes across Gulf states, as well as attacks on energy infrastructure. Iran has even restricted shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, again signaling that full access may depend on whether the ceasefire is respected. Despite these tensions, Pakistan's mediation has drawn strong international support. Countries including China, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt, and the European Union have welcomed Islamabad's efforts to reduce tension. Analysts say Pakistan was able to step in because it maintains working relations with both Washington and Tehran, while also coordinating with regional powers. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has called the moment a chance to reach a comprehensive and lasting settlement, but the challenges are enormous. After weeks of fighting, trust between the United States and Iran is extremely low. They remain deeply divided on sanctions, nuclear policy, regional security, and military presence in the Middle East. Still, diplomacy is now back on the table, and for now, Pakistan has become the place where the next phase of this conflict may be decided.